Welcome back, family. LanceScurv here, the LanceScurv podcast. There's just so much happening out in the world right now that is confusing. It just makes your head want to burst. The news bombards you with so much. You get the fear-mongering, and also you get emotional because we're being manipulated in so many different ways to be against each other, right? There's a few things I wanted to speak about Africa, about America, about the mindset that's manipulated in Africans and in Black Americans, okay? And it's so obvious, but most of us are falling for the manipulative bait that's put out there. There's a growing division happening across the African world, especially between those of us who were born in America and those who have arrived more recently from the continent of Africa, regardless as to what country it may be. This separation is not natural, nor is it accidental. It is carefully engineered. The more I observe it, especially from my vantage point here in Ghana, West Africa, the clearer it becomes that someone benefits from our disconnection. And it certainly isn't us. Many who arrived from African nations enter America, use its systems, and move with a level of access that was created by the blood, struggle, and sacrifice of stolen Africans in the United States. Yet, many refuse to identify with the very people whose labor made their entry possible. Instead of building bonds, there is distance, denial, and an attitude of superiority. This is painful to witness because even though they share the same phenotype, the history, and the origin, they choose not to share the identity. When some say they are Somali, Ghanaian, Ethiopian, or Nigerian, but not Black, it reveals how deeply psychological warfare has worked. It is the same strategy that was used during slavery. Divide those who look alike, speak alike, and come from the same land so they never realize they are stronger together. That word, together. It puts fear in the minds of those who benefit from us being separate. While Black America struggles with the trauma of forced displacement, redlining, mass incarceration, voter suppression, and ongoing cultural erasure, others arrive and sidestep that history, benefiting from the open doors without respecting those who kick them open. This disconnect creates resentment, confusion, and distance that the architects of division count on and need to survive. This is not a cultural misunderstanding. It is a continuation of a formula written a long time ago. Keep African descended people divided across the oceans, tribes, languages, and land. Because if we ever see ourselves as one global people with one foundation, then the world will shift overnight. And they know this. Those who control resources, media narratives, government programs, and immigration pipelines understand something that many of us still struggle to accept. Africa is the future and Black unity is the threat. As long as Somalia sees itself as separate from Ghana, and Ghana sees itself as separate from Black America, and Black America sees itself as separate from the Caribbean, then the century-old game continues unchallenged. This divide has shape-shifted into modern forms. ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, the Native Claims, lineage wars, and online factions. None of them emerged naturally. They exploded with the push of algorithms, trending hashtags, and invisible funding. The same digital forces that can ban content instantly can also push division instantly. And guess what? They do. Nothing that spreads that fast is accidental. What we witness today is a rebranded Berlin Conference. Instead of European powers slicing Africa into pieces, now the division is psychological. Identity has become the new border. Nations have become the new chains. Labels have become the new overseers. And the tragic part is that many participate willingly, believing that they are claiming pride when in truth they are accepting separation. This unity works perfectly for those who want Africa open but not empowered, extracted but not united, visited but not controlled by its own children. That is why certain groups are rushed into America with financial and governmental support, while Black Americans who are native to the land continue to fight for rights they should have inherited generations ago. It is a silent disrespect coded into policy. No one wants to say it directly, but the world knows the truth. If Africans worldwide unite, those abroad and those at home, no foreign power remains superior. A unified Africa would control agriculture, gold, diamonds, lithium, cobalt, cocoa, timber, water, spiritual centers, trade routes, global ports, and natural gas. And that's just a small fraction of what could be controlled. In other words, we would be the future. When someone says they are Somali but not Black, or Ghanaian but not African American, that is not just identity confusion, it is programming. It is a colonial residue, whispering that tribe outranks ancestry, nationality outranks humanity, and division outranks unity. When we repeat it, we help maintain the very systems that have kept us exploited for centuries. From America, I watched the division grow, but from Ghana, I now see the root. The world is racing toward Africa because the world knows that Africa is becoming the next center of power. And those who have dominated us need us to keep arguing, ranking ourselves, creating factions, and calling each other less than. Because if we ever combine land power with diaspora experience, economic strategy with voting influence, and ancestral wisdom with global technology, then the world would not just shift, it would kneel. And they can't have that. That's my 2 cents on the subject, and I would like to hear your perspective. Leave your comments in the comment section below. This conversation will continue, and we'll do live shows in the future if there's a demand enough. LanceScurv out. On to the next one. Peace.